Today on the Datsun 280Z build, we're going to be repairing this rust on the two hatch corners. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Block Garage. I'm Brian. Last video, we got a bunch of work done replacing this hatch slam panel right underneath here. We had to do a whole bunch of custom panels underneath there too to get everything repaired in the back because there's a lot of rust underneath that panel. And as I mentioned in the last video, since I have the hatch on, because I used it to make sure my taillights and everything were fitting, we're going to fix these rusty corners back here. That way I can use the hatch to help keep those lined up. Make sure I don't get these, in, out, all over the place. Keep them lined up. Minimum Bondo work when we get ready for paint. So yeah, we're going to fix those. I know I say this every time, but I don't think it'll be that bad. It's just two small corners here. And to get started, we're going to take the taillights back out. That way we don't ruin them or anything like that. Get them right out of the way. Don't have to worry about it. And check it out. I got the dogs hanging out with me out in the garage today. We got Rocco and Chelsea here. All right, let's cut this open and see what we're working with. All right, I cleaned this all up with the sandblaster real quick, just to see, because there was surface rust on everything. There was a little bit of a rust hole right there. Well, honestly, I'm not going to worry about that because this is not structural in any means. We're going to see it. It's fine just like it is. So we'll leave that just like that. But I will spray rust encapsulator in there just like we do everywhere else that we can't really get all of the surface rust off of. We do the best we can. It doesn't always all come off just because you can't reach it all. So I will get some rust encapsulator in there to make that as good as we can. But really, I'm happy with that, and we'll just make our piece here. All right, we got to put that curve in it right there, the gentle curve. And what I found is that this round rod here is just about the right shape that we need. Just right about the right bend. So I'm going to try and form my piece of sheet metal right here. And I got a piece of sheet metal here that I cut out. Way too big, obviously, but we'll trim it down. I'm going to try to form it around that to get that right bend. There we go. That worked pretty well. Now we got to put this sharper bend in it down below that. There we go. Check that out. Just needs a little bit of tweaking to get it right because these edges aren't perfectly flat. We'll just round them off a little bit to match the body on the car. But overall, it looks very good. So I think I'm going to change this up a little bit. I got this piece bent pretty well. It fits real good with my other one. However, it fits on the outside of it. Alright, so it fits just like that. But that obviously means that our dimensions are a little bit off. For it to fit on the outside of it means my bends are a little bit too far apart. So I tried a couple times to get it bent exactly where it needs to be, and my stuff's just not that precise, I guess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that bottom leg off. You can see like that. See, if I line the top up, the bottom is too far down. So I'm going to cut that bottom leg off, and we'll just weld it on. We'll have a seam right across right here. We weld it together. Not a big deal. It's a little more work, but I think I can make a better product that way. My piece is ready to go here, pretty much. Needs some trimming. But I figured, before we do that, let's throw this piece on right here so that we know where this is going to butt up against right here. Help me trim this piece down so I don't get any big gaps or anything. So I'm going to tack that right about there. I also sprayed a bunch of rust encapsulator in there like I said I was going to do, and then put some weld through primer on over here and obviously on the back of this panel. So let's get that tacked right there. So now we're gonna throw this piece on, right? But if I were to go throw it on like that, so we don't have any gap there on the side, you can tell that this edge is not lined up at all. This thing is way turned in. It's gonna go something like that. So what I'm gonna do is I got a line out here with the edge of the hatch. I'm gonna trim this piece off right there, and that will allow us to line that piece up exactly where it needs to go. Now with this piece all exactly where it needs to be, we've got a great reference point to help line this piece up. And as you can see, if I keep this lined up about there, we got a much bigger gap here. We got to trim off this corner up here. Somewhere like that. There we go. Now it fits perfect along that edge. So now we just got to trim the excess off of these two edges here and down at the bottom. And then we move on to the bottom piece. When I tack this one on right here, I got this piece of sheet metal up too high, so I just cut it off so we can re-tack it at the right height. The more time you spend now getting this right, the less time you're going to have to spend later trying to fix it. I want to trim the top of this piece off right now so that we know we don't get this piece too high and low on this edge. We'll trim this piece off, then we can line this up with this piece. I've scribed a mark in the side here. It might be hard to pick up on camera, but there's a mark scribed in there that lines right up with the edge of this. I went ahead and tacked this edge in right here to keep this lined up. And if you look, we are perfectly lined up back here. So I'm going to go ahead and lock this edge in. Oh, actually, one thing we got to do is, if you look, this piece here is kicked out at the bottom, which this whole channel is up here, but the bottom is not. And if we go over here, see, we got an even gap between here and here. This is straight up and down, so isn't this. So I'm gonna straighten this piece out so it's right up and down, and then we'll lock this in place. And there we go, that gap is perfect. Let's just make sure that this is still lined up. And it is still lined up perfectly. So let's lock it down. Now we gotta trim off the bottom of our piece here to get it lined up. Here we go. Got it all tacked in. Every piece is there. Still fits great. As you can see, fitment's still perfect. So now let's go fully weld it in and grind it down. There we go. This side's all done. All smoothed out, ready to go. Fits perfect. No issues with gaps. We're all lined up. So let's move over to the other side. I imagine this side's gonna be pretty much the same, although this looks a little bit worse. There might be some rot in behind here on that panel that we didn't worry about on the other side. You know, the inner panel, that's just really the backing structure. So I'm gonna get this one cut out and we'll see where we're at with this side. There we go. This side looks exactly the same as the other side. So this outer panel's rotten. This inner panel is just fine. So since this is the exact same work, I'm not going to repeat it. So I will catch up with you when this side is done. There we go. Got that side all done. Went very well. You know, just as well as the other side. Didn't have any other issues, nothing to show off, so we just skipped right ahead, right? As you can see, I got it all done. It's all smoothed out, looks very nice. Lines up great with the hatch closed. This side does too. So I'm very happy with that. Came out really well. Honestly, I think my sheet metal skills have improved a lot since I've been working on this car and doing all this rust. If I would have seen something like this 6 months ago, I don't even think I would have attempted it. But jumping right in and fixing this stuff that absolutely has to be fixed, I wasn't even worried about fixing this stuff. I knew I could make it work and look good. So yeah, it feels good to be able to do stuff like that, you know, fixing stuff by hand, all on your own, you know, hand fabricating everything. It feels good. Especially making these huge improvements on the car, getting rid of some rust that definitely needed to be removed. Instead of just slapping some Bondo on over the rust and calling it good like some other people have done, you know, actually fixing it properly, it feels good. A couple weeks ago, I made this list of all the known rust that we have left on the car, or known stuff that has to be fixed while we get it on the rotisserie. So, I forgot we can cross some stuff off. We got the hatch slam done. We got these rear corners done. It's definitely good to see stuff getting crossed off that list. But anyways, this is probably a shorter video, I'm guessing. Let me know what you think about that. You know, I generally make somewhere around 30-minute videos. This one I'm guessing is going to be quite a bit shorter. Let me know if you like that, don't like that. But I basically come out in the garage, pick one project I'm going to do on the 280Z, and I record until that whole project is done. No matter if it's something that takes me 3 weekends to get through or, you know, just a half a day or something like that. So some videos are going to be longer, some are going to be shorter, but I like to keep a theme, basically, to each video. A subject, I guess, would be a better way to say it. But yeah, I think it makes for a better video. You get to see one whole project all the way through in one video. Like I said, very happy with how this turned out. I like being able to do this stuff myself. I don't even hate rust repair as much as I used to do. I used to absolutely hate it. Now, I wouldn't say I like it, but it's not so bad. I think a lot of that is because of the unknown, not knowing how to do it, not, you know, thinking you're going to get it in over your head and just make it worse and totally mess it up. Now, you know, I feel like I have the skills and the knowledge to be able to do this, maybe not perfectly, but sufficiently. But yeah, I'll probably end the video here. Thanks for watching. Go check out the merch shop, blockgarage.myspreadshop.com. Pick up a shirt or something. I've been seeing some people buying some shirts, and you know, that's very cool. I like that. But yeah, that'll do it for this one, and I'll see you guys in the next video.